All right, guys. So in today's video, we're going to be testing kitchen gadgets from Amazon, like we've done many times. So I went through Amazon and I found some kind of strange, unique gadgets to test out. And of course, you see this pizza here. You guys know that I'm never going to pass up an opportunity to eat pizza. So our first gadget is this. This is a 5-wheel pizza cutter. Extends out like an accordion, I think. That's what goes back and forth. Why you would need this or want this, I have no idea. I think it's technically supposed to be for pasta, but in the pictures it showed pizza. I don't know. I'm gonna use it for pizza. Clearly we have a pizza here. I think this is gonna suck, to be honest. You know, let's go with 3. Okay, that sucks. Okay, that actually that worked a little bit. The crust is kind of tough for it. This honestly sucks. Okay. I think it's probably advertised as a pasta cutter for a reason. Maybe it would be better at that, just like cutting through something very light. If you were cutting pasta, I think it would probably still be easier to just kind of lay it out and then just use a knife and cut it than it would be to try to operate this contraption. Same with pizza. It would be way easier to just take a regular pizza cutter. If I had to rate this thing out of 10, I would give it a 1. And I'm probably just gonna put it in the trash where it belongs. All right, so our next gadget is the cherry pitter. This is a device that is supposed to take the pits out of your cherries. You just put the cherries in there, I guess. I've never even had a cherry before, so I'm not entirely sure how all this works. And you just push this, and then I guess that pushes the pits out. I have some cherries. And I guess we just load them up. We don't have to load the whole thing up, but let's load up like 3 of them, I guess. Man, that smells like cough medicine. I assume you put them with the stems up, or maybe like put it on the side or something. And we just push down. Okay. Nothing came out. So that's pretty cool, I guess. There's no seed, but there's also no seed in the bottom. Is there some type of witchcraft going on here? Cherries with stems have seeds, right? That's why they have the stem. I don't see no seeds. Have I been fooled here? It just says cherries with stems. It doesn't say they've been pitted. Are there cherries that grow without seeds? Okay, I guess these don't have seeds. So that's pretty lame. I guess we can't really test it, but if they had seeds, I guess that's what you do. You just put it on here and then just push it and then the seeds come out. That's pretty cool, I guess. All right, guys, so before we go any farther, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped has sent me the Chairman Pro. So let's check this out and see what you get. You get a nice carrying case, and then you get your trimmer. This is a dual blade foil shaver. It's completely rechargeable. It has a light. It charges with USB-C. It has a swappable head, so you can have a foil shaver or you can have a trimmer. You just take it off, put the new one on. Easy as that. Comes with a power brick, which you don't usually get anymore, and of course a charging cable. So very simple, sleek little package. So if you're interested in this or anything else that Manscaped offers, you can click the link in the description. You could use code TUBE and you'll get 15% off your order. Now our next gadget is a mandolin slicer. This one's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be a safe mandolin slicer. So we'll see what that means. That was probably important. Interesting. Okay, I think this is what makes it safe. Caution, the blades are very sharp. Keep away from children. Ah. Oh. How does this fit into this equation? It's gotta go right there, right? So what we got here? We got 360 degrees. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Because here's the blade, obviously, that should be cutting, but there's no space for it to cut. And there's this dial on the back that goes from 1 to 10, or 1 to 8, that you'd think would change the size of something. And there's these things that are labeled 360 degrees. Wait, what's this? Okay, I figured it out. It took me a minute, but I got it. Okay, I know what's going on here. You don't slide it this way like a regular mandolin cutter. You slide it this way. And I guess this just goes back here. And then you can pick your, how you want it. And then this goes here, I assume. I understand what's happening here. We're just gonna use a potato. But if this actually works, and it is much safer, that's gonna be really good, because I've seen some pictures of people who have cut themselves with mandolin slicers, where they're just, going over it, and I've even done it a couple times, where they're, cutting a potato or whatever, and then it gets too low, and then they just slice the tips of their fingers. It's not a good situation. Oh, look at that. That's the thinnest setting. That's actually working really good. Like halfway. I don't know why it's cutting it that way, though. Why is it cutting it in strips? I thought we were trying to cut it in, circles. Is that maybe where these things come into play? Oh, it is. It is. Okay, so that's cool. So you can unscrew these things, and you can get circles, I'm assuming. Yeah. Or you can screw them all the way out and you can get little slices. Let's go real big. Oh, look at that. You can get chunky cuts out of there. Like a number 2. Look at how fast that was, too. This thing is pretty cool. I'm not, but if I was an avid mandolin slicer user, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get one like this. It was so fast. Let's just see how fast we can do an entire potato. I mean, what was that, like 45 seconds? That's incredibly fast. So if I was an avid mandolin slicer user, I would probably go with this one because it's much safer. Your hands are completely out of the way. You're not gonna slice your fingertips off. It's faster. I don't really see a downside here. You can do the regular slices like this. You can turn those things out and make them like slices like fries. If I had to rate this thing out of 10, I'd give it probably like a 9.3. I'm actually very impressed with it. All right, our next item is this very unique toaster. Typically, you guys know what a regular toaster looks like. You have 2 slots side by side. You put the bread in, it pops up. This one just has one giant slot along the top, and then the toast apparently just slides out at the bottom. So, curious to see how that works. So let's get 2 pieces of toast. Let's put it on, it goes up to 6. Maybe we'll go in halfway, we'll go 3. I'm also kind of interested because you push the spring down, which means that when it's done, the spring should come up. So how's the toast gonna go down if the spring's going up? Oh, that's interesting. So it doesn't like spring up, it just slowly goes up. And then it comes right out of the bottom. That's interesting. That's two nice pieces of toast. Whenever I was looking at this, I was trying to think, like, what would be the advantage of this over a regular toaster? Because it's so long, and then, like, what's the advantage of having it come out the bottom? Really, the only thing that I could think of that would, like, warrant getting a toaster like this would be this. If you're someone who uses bread, I don't even know what, or maybe like hoagie buns or something, or maybe hot dog buns. I didn't even think about that. Stuff that's too long to fit in a regular toaster like this, you could put that in here. We'll see how that does. But that's like the only advantage I can think of this toaster. So we'll see how it handles that. I would imagine it should be fine. Okay. Oh, that's hot. I guess that bread doesn't like toast the same way because it's so hot, but it's not toasty. I think it's cool. It works the way it's supposed to. Now that I think about it, there's really only two scenarios where I could see where this would be beneficial. One, you have like an odd amount of counter space and like you only have room for something of this length and you don't have maybe very much depth on the counter. Or, like I said before, if you are constantly toasting things that are too long for a regular toaster. Other than that, I don't really see use for it, but it does work. All right, our next gadget is this. This is supposed to be a portable vent hood. You know, cooking, bacon or, I don't know, just like anything that could put off like some smoke or whatever. It's supposed to suck it up, I guess filter it, and then shoot it out. In case you don't have an actual vent hood to take it outside, it can at least be filtered and keep the room not smoky, I guess. Obviously, I'm not going to be cooking anything, but I do have the smoke matches from that one video. So we'll start this up, and then we'll just light one of those, and then see what it does with the smoke. I think it has 2 settings. Okay, let's light up one of these bad boys. Okay, we have lots of smoke. Are you kidding me? I don't know how well that picks up on camera, but it's not doing anything. It's literally just blowing the smoke out the other side. And now I've got this match lit. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's just smokes out the whole room. That's pretty great. So what's the point of this thing? Are you kidding me? This thing is nothing. It's literally just empty. There's nothing here. This is your filter, I guess. I can literally see right through that. This is what's supposed to take, and this is just like a grate. It's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna blow the smoke a different direction. And this thing was like $100. So $100 to just simply blow the smoke a different direction when you could just literally get a fan for 10 bucks and blow the smoke a different direction. That's a scam, I think. Like it's literally just a fancy looking fan. That's crazy. Okay, so if I had to rate that out of 10, that's gonna be like a 0.5. That's horrible. That's literally a straight scam. All right then. So I expected a lot more out of that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.